Hi, in this short video I'm going to answer or try to answer three quick questions. One is, are sales tests worth the investment? Two, is sales testing helpful? And three, what types of sales tests should be using and when indeed should you be using them? I'll admit that these questions aren't exactly earth-shattering, but they are important if you're trying to hire salespeople who can sell what you want sold. My name is Brian Jeffrey and I'm the president of Salesforce Assessments Ltd. You'll be delighted to know that the answer to all these three questions is yes, no, and it depends. When hiring salespeople, there's no doubt that sales tests have merit. But first, let's explore why we should test at all. Hiring salespeople isn't like hiring for other positions where you can sift through resumes, conduct standard interviews, and do the usual reference checks. Although this process works well, it's flawed when we use it to hire salespeople. Why? Because salespeople represent a different style and a different hiring challenge. What makes hiring salespeople so different is that they're salespeople. And there's one thing that salespeople excel at, it's selling themselves. Now, unfortunately, sometimes that's the only thing they can sell. And that's where the sales testing can help. A sales test can help separate the wheat from the chaff, the winners from the losers, the ones with the potential to be great to the ones that are probable duds. Now, there are three basic, simple sales assessments out there that people use for testing salespeople. There is a sales temperament test, such as ours. There's sales skills tests, and there's sales personality tests. Now, I want to take a look at all three of these and just give you a brief overview of them. Because all three tests, or all three types of tests, have their place in the hiring process. First, we'll briefly explore the sales temperament test. Temperament is very similar to personality. Think of personality as the distinctive qualities or characteristics of a person, while temperament is that measure of how the person naturally responds and reacts to the world around him or her, i.e. how the person is going to do their job, basically, how they're going to go about doing their job. Our sales temperament assessment test rates the candidate on two factors. One is the candidate's suitability for sales in general on a scale of 1 to 10, and two, the candidate's suitability for your particular selling environment. Are they suited for your environment? Also on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, these two ratings are combined together to give you an overall assessment of the candidate's chances of success expressed in one of the following statements. 1. Candidate has the potential to be a top performer. Those are the ones, of course, we're always looking for. 2, the candidate has the potential to be a good performer, and that's where a lot of people will fall. Number 3 is the candidate has the potential to perform well with a minimum of supervision. That's still a good rating, by the way. Number 4 is the candidate may succeed in sales if given the proper guidance, supervision, and coaching. These are likely to be high-maintenance hires. Lastly, number 5, the candidate may succeed in sales only if possessing a great deal of drive, desire, and discipline. Now, as the investment is only $75 US, we recommend that our sales temperament assessment be used early in the hiring process to screen out unsuitable candidates and help make a better job match before investing too much of your additional time and money. Now, let's take an equally brief look at selling skills tests. There's no doubt that you'd like to know if a candidate can actually sell before you hire the person for a sales position. Unfortunately, most selling skills tests only gauge a person's knowledge of selling, not his or her actual selling skills or the level of their selling skills. In other words, the test tells us that the person says they can sell but doesn't tell us if they can actually sell. So they're telling us they can do it, but can they really do it? Don't know. While confirming a person's selling skills through reference checking is appropriate, I'm not sure that this comes as a great surprise, but for many previous employers are hesitant to give former employees a bad reference and therefore may not tell you the truth about their selling skills. A better way to assess a candidate's selling skills is to have the person do a simulated sales call. The nice thing about this technique is that it costs you nothing but time. You can have access to sample sales call simulations and other free hiring resources simply by opening up an account with us, by the way. In general, this kind of sales test is best done at the second or third interview when the candidate is on your short list. Finally, let's take a short look at sales personality tests. Now, this type of test can offer you an in-depth insight into a number of factors such as the individual's traits, their communication style, their decision-making style, how a person works with others, what motivates them, how to manage them more effectively. It also outlines what are some of their strengths and weaknesses. What is their problem-solving abilities, and a lot of around their people skills, which are all very good pieces of information to have and very valuable. For the most part, this is good information, as I mentioned, and it's valuable once you've decided to hire a candidate because it really does help you manage the person even more effectively. With price ranges ranging from several $100s per report, they're usually considered too costly to put every candidate through them. This type of sales test is usually recommended when a candidate is either on your short list and under serious consideration, or perhaps you've even hired them at that point. I'd like to do it before I hire. So what's the bottom line here? Well, I recommend that you use the following guidelines when testing salespeople. One is regarding the sales temperament test. Use an inexpensive sales test such as our sales temperament assessment as a sort of a selection or screening tool, and you use that early in the hiring process so you don't waste a lot of time and money on unsuitable candidates. This is particularly important if you're paying travel expenses and you're bringing people in for an interview. There's no value in flying a dud halfway across the continent. Heck, I wouldn't even want the expense of a bus ticket for someone who is not likely to be suited for the job. Like you, my time is worth too much to waste it this way. I got other things that I can do that I waste my time on. With selling skills tests, I strongly recommend that you don't rely on written tests to evaluate selling skills, because you'll just be evaluating the person's knowledge. Develop your own sales simulation or role play that you can use during the interview process. Now, we can help with that, and we've got some samples for you if you're interested. Finally, sales personality tests. Use the more comprehensive and more expensive sales personality test only for those people who are being seriously considered and are really on your short list, down to the last 2 or 3 people. You may even wait until after they're hired. If you want to learn more about how to use our sales tests or how our sales tests can help you build a strong team, why not take the sales temperament assessment for a test drive today? It won't cost you a penny, and we'd like the opportunity of earning your business. Thanks for watching.